Today is election day, and though the forecast doesn't look exactly like we want it to if we're going to be headed to the polls, it isn't truly that bad. Though we do have the scattered showers and a cooler high temperature into the mid 40s for today, you will actually find that the rain is going to be here and there on radar. So as we go through election day, you'll find that those temperatures warm. Those are going to be headed into the mid 40s, like I said, for that high. And even around the later hours, just kind of those last few minutes of voting, we should just be staying into the lower 40s at that point. And each hour, though I have raindrops in the forecast, you're just going to want to check the WTOL 11 weather app before you head to the ballot box, because you may find that green blob, it's exiting town, and then you can make it to the polls and home without getting wet. So thankfully, it's very scattered rain that we're working with today. That's what you'll find here on our downtown sky cam. Though it looks wet overhead with those dark gray clouds overhead, it hasn't been a soaker of a day, maybe even the remnants of a raindrop. You can kind of see that hazy look there on the lens, but overall it's been pretty quiet outside, not really running those wipers too fast on the cars for today. We sit at about a 60% chance as far as that coverage and the intensity of the rainfall on this Tuesday, and as the system really works its way out of town, we're going to find that we're just at 30% rain chances for tomorrow. So they are starting to lower as the system begins to push away. Then we have dry weather for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Dry weather straight into the weekend, just like what we all ordered, so we can have some fun. And though we do have that 20% chance of some rainfall on Monday, you are going to find that it's mainly an isolated chance. We're going to hold off some of that rain for a little bit later in the week as we watch a system in that long-term forecast. But this is the system that's been causing us these scattered showers. You can see here that the center of the storm is just rotating kind of there over the eastern portion of Lake Erie, and it has some cooler air. It's kind of with that counterclockwise rotation, bringing in some cooler conditions. So though it's leaving some snow for our friends into the UP and northern lower Michigan, for us, we are just seeing lake effect coming off of Lake Michigan. So it's bringing in those scattered rain showers, and some of those are sneaking into southeast Michigan and northwest Ohio. So that's why I said if you're headed to the ballot box, you're just going to have to check radar, because we are going to find that the rain is here and then it's gone. It's here and then it's gone. It's just going to be like turning on a faucet and turning it right back off. Now, even for our friends further east, you'll still see that scattered nature as far as the green there on radar, but the whole system itself, I promise you, though it's moving slow, is starting to move out. Now, even across the country, though, that's kind of the big system that we're watching. You can see a little development of some rainfall into Texas, but overall, looking for those systems out into the distance, maybe a little bit of energy off towards California, but overall, not a lot brewing as far as the distance. So that's why you're going to find a dry forecast for us the rest of this week and into the weekend. And now for tonight, though, hour by hour forecast showing that rainfall, and it is going to be steady at times as far as the coverage, but at least as far as the intensity, it just won't be as heavy of rainfall once we get to the time that the polls start to close at 7, 8 o'clock. So as you're here watching WTOL 11 Plus and seeing those results of the election, you are going to be finding that the rain is going to be pretty quiet here in the forecast. Though roads could be a little damp in the morning, no issues to get you out the door tomorrow. And we will be looking then a lot of the rain chances are going to be east to 75, because as the system is pushing east, it's going to be pulling that rainfall with it as well. So tomorrow it's just going to be a few lingering showers in the forecast, but we begin to finally dry out, even though as far as some sun, not going to be seeing a ton of it, as those clouds are still going to be pretty dominant here in the forecast. But now that we've had some rain, what about mowing? Well, today, maybe here and there's going to be some dry spots in between those showers, and then Wednesday it's going to be a little more eastward with the rain. So if you're further west and itching to get on the mower, you might be just okay to get that done. And now Thursday and Friday, no problem there. Thursday you can get it done, and by Friday, not really any excuses weather-wise if you do need to cut the grass. And if you do it Friday, then you can just have fun Saturday and Sunday, as we're going to be seeing some more warmer temperatures. But for now, we are tracking that rainfall that's ahead of us. Of course, use the radar if you're going to be headed out and about, because then you can keep an eye on those pockets of green to keep you ahead and hopefully dry as you're going. You'll even see on that hourly forecast, we kind of switch between those cloudy conditions and then at times even seeing some rainfall in the forecast. But for today, since we have the on and off rain, it's keeping those highs stalled out around 47 degrees. And also we will have those westerly winds kind of even out of the northwest direction. Those are going to be around 15, even gusting up towards 25 miles per hour. So it's going to be breezy once again today. It's just going to add a little extra chill to that 47 degrees for a high. You'll see that those wind gusts, though they've been pretty quiet here during the morning into the afternoon, those are going to be in the mid to even towards that 30-mile-per-hour mark as we go into the afternoon and evening. So not too bad, but still just going to be blustery like it was yesterday. Outside, though, you can see we're one of the cooler spots. We're at 48 in Toledo, and yet we have 50s further south, and we'll even find those 60s. So if you want some heat, you'll have to jump in the plane and drive towards our friends into the south, but you are going to find overall we are just on the cooler side with this system. So though we have the chilly air, looking ahead into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can see we kind of have that push of warm air, and that's going to be working its way in. So that's why we are going to be eyeing some 70s in the forecast a little bit later on. But where should we be? We should be in the upper 60s by now, and that's not what we're forecasting for the high today. The high, well, you're going to find that to be a little bit closer to the low, and that means morning lows. That was at 39 degrees at the Toledo Express Airport. A little bit below average, to say the least, but we are not setting any new records in our almanac book. Now here's those 70s I was talking about. Before we get there, we have 40s and 50s for today and tomorrow, and even some 60s once the forecast dries out. You're going to find even upper 60s, so maybe we can sneak into the 70s, but we're forecasting mid to upper 70s for the next work and school week. So some nice weather. Make some plans for this weekend and even into next week. Maybe we can finally get a little bit of that patio dining in the forecast. Now looking ahead, though, for the full 10 days, we have the rainfall today and lingering tomorrow, but then it's dry, some more sun working its way back in, and a little bit warmer Sunday, some sun, 68, not too bad. Like I said, make some weekend plans with this one. Don't anticipate major changes in the forecast. We will be looking at mainly dry weather until the middle to later portions of next week when we have some 70s in the forecast. Again, though, it is election day. If you're headed out to go and vote, make sure you have the WTOL 11 weather app to keep an eye on radar, as those showers are pretty spotty on the map.